He wasn't just acting in pain, he was living it. Before cameras even started rolling on Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein, Euphoria star Jacob Elordi was already trapped in the same kind of torment that defines the monster himself. Sleepless nights, a body aching from drastic weight loss, and a mind caught between exhaustion and obsession. What no one knew at the time was that those very moments of suffering would turn into his most haunting performance yet, one that fans are already calling his most real work to date. He went from the flashing lights of Euphoria to the dark, decaying world of Frankenstein. For years, audiences saw Jacob Elordi as the charming rebel, the guy every camera loved. But this time, there were no glittering sets, no high school heartbreaks, no glossy close-ups, just shadows, scars, and silence. Guillermo del Toro's reimagining of Mary Shelley's classic demanded something far deeper, a kind of raw vulnerability few actors ever reach. The role wasn't even meant for him at first. Andrew Garfield had it, until scheduling pulled him away. Suddenly, with almost no time to prepare, Jacob stepped into a monster's skin. And what followed pushed him to his absolute limits. When Jacob wrapped filming on the Australian Tabu Twoit mini-series The Narrow Road to the Deep North, his body was barely holding together. The role had demanded extreme weight loss, long shooting days, limited meals, and a level of physical strain that left him drained in every sense. He thought he'd finally have time to rest, to rebuild. But before his strength could return, another call came. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. His body was still weak, his mind foggy, but something inside him couldn't say no. He stepped into the part with bones still aching from the last, carrying the exhaustion of one man's war straight into another's creation. There were nights when Jacob couldn't sleep. 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, his body begging for rest that wouldn't come. Every muscle ached, every breath reminded him how far he'd pushed himself. But instead of fighting it, he began to listen to it. That pain, the loneliness, the confusion, it became his map into the monster's soul. "My body was in such pain," he told the Los Angeles Times. "But it was a blessing, because I could articulate that suffering as Frankenstein." For Jacob, the agony wasn't an obstacle anymore. It was the performance itself, raw, trembling, and almost too real to fake. He first heard about the role while filming Priscilla, halfway across the world, still covered in the quiet melancholy of Elvis Presley's story. The moment the offer came, something in him shifted. Not excitement, not fear, but a strange, heavy pull deep in his gut. "It felt like cancer in my stomach," he said, trying to explain that gnawing certainty. "I had to play this thing." It wasn't ambition, it was instinct, almost destiny, as if all the exhaustion, all the sleepless nights had been leading to this. "I really feel like I was meant to play this," he confessed, and for the first time, the pain started to make sense. He wasn't alone in this haunting world. Alongside him stood a powerhouse cast: Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Christoph Waltz, Felix Kammerer, Lars Mikkelsen, each adding their own shade of darkness and grace to Guillermo del Toro's vision. Together, they built a world where pain felt poetic, and monsters looked a lot like us. Frankenstein arrived in theaters on October 17th, and will stream on Netflix starting November 7th. But this story isn't just another horror release. It's the intersection of agony and destiny, where an actor's real suffering transformed into art that breathes, trembles, and aches with humanity. In the end, Jacob Elordi didn't just play Frankenstein's monster, he became him. Every sleepless night, every ache, every ounce of quiet suffering stitched itself into the performance until the line between man and creation disappeared. His real pain gave life to a creature that was never truly dead, just waiting for someone broken enough to understand him. And now, as audiences watch the monster rise again, one question lingers long after the credits fade. Will this be the role that defines Jacob Elordi forever?